Hey, everybody. For those who pay attention to politics in Berkeley, California, you're aware that James Chang, who is currently the chief of staff of Berkeley District 3 Councilmember Ben Bartlett, who's a friend of mine, ran for District 7 City Council and lost. And in the middle of that, became embroiled in a scandal that from the start he said wasn't what was presented. In other words, he didn't do what he was accused of doing. And what he was accused of doing could be described as inappropriate touching for the purpose of how I choose to describe it with respect to this YouTube channel, Zenny62. And I'll leave it at that. But what's happened is that James has been so impacted by the idea that what happened and what he has been accused of doing is the truth, yet it's not, that he has bent over backward in an effort to clear his name and gave finally this sworn affidavit he received from a witness. Now you would say, okay, what happened? Well, he was at an event, a dinner with a date, and I'm going to withhold the name of that person. I know who that is, but I don't personally know that individual. Simple fact of the matter is that there was a misunderstanding from James's perspective. I haven't talked to the other guy, in that all of a sudden, from James's perspective, he turns around, his wallet is gone, and this guy's taking off with it. And he didn't get it back. And so the other story that's been reported in one publication is that this person took it as, and it's kind of a bizarre take on it, as some sort of evidence or some sort of raison d'etre to have him returned to him. It was very odd why someone would take the wallet. Well, since that time, James has managed to obtain a sworn affidavit from a witness that says, clear as a bell, that James did not do what he is accused of doing, and that the person who is the accuser ran off with his wallet and then invented this story in an attempt to cover up for what he was trying to do. And so that's why the title is James Chang, Berkeley Politico, says claims against him were false. Here's why. That's why. Because not only were they false, but it was a cover up. It was something invented so that James couldn't get his wallet back. Very dastardly. So you can read about the entire matter here at zenireport.com. It's the top post on the Zenny62 website. And you can see it's here. It even has a copy of the text from the affidavit, name withheld. Right down here, name withheld, okay? And so, again, James has said again and again and again and again, this is not something that he did. And the one publication that reported on this, of two, and there were others that picked up the text, should have simply, and this is the Daily Cal, I'll just say straight out, this is the Daily Cal, should have explained that while it claims it's independently run, it is, and it advertises itself as being, and it has been. I got my master's degree at Cal, 1987 Masters of City Planning, has always been the student-run newspaper for the University of of California Berkeley community. So if that organization has one of its own, which is Cecilia Luna Parra, 19 years old, running for office, and would become the youngest person ever to hold a city council seat in Berkeley's history, if not the youngest or one of the youngest in United States history, I believe one of the youngest. Do you think that that community is going to knee-jerk go against her if there is no sound reason to do so, as opposed to back immediately her opponent, even though her opponent, James, is a Cal grad, very well regarded in the community and an expert at affordable housing? So the Daily Cal really should have put out there exactly where it sits in terms of image, in terms of where it's coming from. And you can't claim that it's totally independent, because just from where it sits, it's not. And the person who's accused James of this is, as I understand it now, from Zenny 62 Media Research, someone who was already worked for the ASUC and has now achieved a higher position within it. So it begs the question, who among Daily Cal people know this person? Also, the Daily Cal endorsed Cecilia versus Luna Parra April 1st. This matter wasn't reported until April 16th. So everyone can wonder, well, wait a minute. What else did the Daily Cal know? Did they do any investigation that would give an equal weight to the story? Because it's all, in this case, he said is what it is. The Daily Cal then claimed to go to someone else to make negative comments about James Chang. Why didn't they include anybody who would have said, hey, look, specifically this didn't happen? Because the negative comments that were issued about James were by some random person, not named, who wasn't even there. Okay? And you don't know how that person's influence. This is really important because, as I point to in this article, there's a gentleman by the name of Finn Wolf who was falsely accused of sexual assault. Finn, at the time, was also a student at Cal. And as that story went, he met this woman at a party, and her then boyfriend was not addressing her in a way that was appropriate. Finn stepped in. They took up a friendship relationship that went beyond that, and she was openly interested in him and let everybody know it, and kissed him in front of other people. Then literally turned on the man when it became clear to her that she could go back to her ex-boyfriend, who was treating her in a way that was extremely questionable, and then accused him of inappropriate behavior. It took Alameda County District Attorney Nancy O'Malley 2 years to unravel this case, and Finn Wolf was exonerated. So each one of these matters, like everything else in life, has to be looked at on an individual basis, not with a broad brush. Unfortunately, there are those who try to make assertions that do wind up to establishing a broad brush. And that hurts everybody. That hurts everyone. Everyone. And so, oh, and by the way, though, for those of you wondering, the call that I received had nothing to do with this subject matter and me being on right now. But that happens. But again, the bottom line is that James Chang is in a full speed effort to clear his name. And there are a number of people who trust his advocacy and his expertise, particularly in the area of affordable housing, who want to see him be able to right his ship and get back to doing well that which he's always done. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark zenreport.com. That ends this broadcast.